quit our jobs. Episode 10. Can you believe it? We're here.
They said we wouldn't make it.
We made it 10 whole episodes.
And by they, it was probably one of us.
Yeah, I didn't know if we'd make it here, but we're here. And that means we got to keep going. The next
Forever.
one is 100 episodes. Think we can make it?
I think 50s. Let's try to get to 50 first.
By the time we get to 50, 100 will be nothing.
Yeah. This has been fun though. Honestly, this has been fun. I know it's just a little like project, but it's been fun.
Yeah, we're gonna amp it up eventually. We're gonna really get it going.
We're gonna have fucking special effects. More of them.
We're gonna stop. Yeah, more special effects, more CG hippos.
I mean, animals. You can't go wrong with animals. You know, like the animals are the best.
Oh, it is like pitch black in here. I turned my light on. It's not helping much, but it's another dark cast.
I think it's always at least a little dim.
Oh man, what's been up?
Nothing. How was your New Year's?
It was all right. I hung out with Ellie. We did
Nice.
nothing really.
Sweet.
Yeah. How was yours?
I actually did do something. I just hung out with a bunch of smashers, and yeah, it was honestly a really good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been sort of fucking isolated for over a week. Between my cold and then that storm, it's like,
Yeah.
damn, we were really snowed in.
I can imagine.
Screwed up.
How are things now? Like, how's the weather?
Everything melted.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like,
Already?
Yeah, it like went to 50 degrees.
Jeez.
Bipolar Buffalo. You know?
That's some Buffalo shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's still snow, but it's like you can see grass now.
That's a miracle.
Yeah.
After everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that Buffalo's doing better.
Yeah, it's okay. A lot of trees fell down. Some people's power is still out.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Jeez.
Yeah, but other than that, we're doing all right.
Good.
All the dollar stores got looted. We were like driving by, and every single one was like broken in windows and shit.
Yeah,
crazy.
The Rite Aid and the Dollar Tree next to my mom's house got looted. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, what else are you supposed to do if you have no food?
Exactly. It's like a really serious like political topic, and I used to totally be on the side of like looting is so bad, but ever since I've been liberal cucked up,
Well, in a scenario like that, it's like, what else are you supposed to do?
Yeah, but there's still people who think like, oh, you shouldn't do that because it's just morally reprehensible. But
you got me on it now.
Sorry. I just woke up.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're looting, like, crazy shit, that's one thing.
Well,
If
even then,
breaking into
I don't
TV
know.
stores and stealing televisions and shit. It's like,
I don't even know if I care about that anymore. Maybe I'm just way too, like, cucked.
yeah, maybe.
But I'm just like, whatever. I don't care. These $1 million corporations don't matter.
Yeah, but people
And
loot like fucking mom and pop stores, and it's like you just fucked them out of
that
their
is
entire
really bad.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. That's really bad.
There was this like during the BLM stuff. Like I didn't care if you were like destroying cop cars and stuff because that's kind of cool. That's rad, dude. But
Yeah.
they fucking destroyed like some African immigrant store,
Yeah.
and like she was like fucked out of her everything, you know,
Yeah, and that's
jewelry and
that's really not
all that
cool.
stuff.
Yeah. I agree. That's very wrong.
I'm also kind of anti-mob in general, anti-hive mind.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever goes well.
Yeah, it never goes well regardless of like motive or like political like ideology or anything. Like
Right.
January 6th was mob mentality too.
Right. Exactly.
So,
Whew. January 6th. We're coming
can
up on
you
the 2-year anniversary.
isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Do you is it like one of those moments where you heard about it, you knew like you remember exactly where you were? Like,
Yeah. Basically.
yeah. Do you know where you were?
Um. It was. I'm a little screwed up because I thought we were on vacation, but apparently it was the day before.
Mm.
Because we were just driving down to like bumfuck New York. So we were a little nervous because of all that shit. But I think
Oh.
it was probably the day before it happened.
Jeez.
But yeah, like really crazy. I mean, that's one of those things that's like a historic event, sort of.
Yeah,
You know?
it's crazy how one political faction of the country just doesn't care at all, and the other is like, this is one of the craziest things that's ever happened. And I think it's one of the craziest things that's ever happened. So I don't know. Maybe again, I'm too cucked, but
No, I
but yeah,
mean they broke into the Capitol building
yeah,
to
like
like physically disrupt an election process.
all because one guy was like, I won, and he didn't. He never even won the popular vote the first time. America, what a funny place.
I just wonder what's gonna happen with it all. I mean, it's semi unfolding now, almost 2 years later. I was like, are
Did
there
you
actually gonna be any consequences to the whole thing?
did you keep up with the January 6th committees?
No, not really. A little bit, a little bit. More than most
They
political things.
they Congress, well, the House, recommended that there were criminal criminal charges put on Trump,
Yeah, yeah,
and a lot of people like his lawyer and stuff. But obviously that doesn't hold any legal weight, so I guess we'll
right.
see where that goes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, we're running out of time. They better start doing it soon. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's running again for sure.
well, the Justice Department also is obviously investigating Trump. They set up a special committee because after he announced he was running for president, they thought it was a conflict of interest because the Justice Department works for the president technically.
Yeah,
So he didn't want the head of the Justice Department didn't want it to look political, but I mean, no matter what you do, Republicans, especially Trump Republicans, are gonna
yeah,
think it's political. So it's like, what are you
right.
gonna do?
But they're fucking. I don't know.
Insane.
They're fighting a losing war at this point.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's losing a lot of support in the Republican Party.
for
So
now, till he starts polling well.
yeah,
If he
yeah.
doesn't poll well, then yeah. But
I really think he just mobilizes a base of voters that are so stupid that they only like him. Like
Yeah.
they only listen and like can understand him and his like really stupid talk. Like, you know, he really is not smart when he talks. He really speaks to the lowest common denominator, and I think like those people won't vote for anyone else. Like there's nobody else who speaks to them.
Well, Ron
So
DeSantis isn't up there too. If he could make himself more popular, he would definitely be like a fucking gimmick.
he is popular among people who pay attention. Trump is still probably the most popular amongst people who don't pay attention, and that's a very large portion of the Republican Party. So
Yeah. Yeah,
we'll
that's
see.
true.
I really hope he just doesn't win the primary.
He might. You never know.
I
He
really
could
hope
do
he
it,
doesn't.
or he could be in jail by then.
I think that's the best case scenario.
Uh,
Hopefully.
we gotta find a new candidate. I don't know what the Democrats are thinking. Feels like the Democrats do nothing at this point. It's kind of sad.
What do you mean?
There's no one cool. Bernie's dead.
Yeah, it might as well be.
And there's no one. I mean, there's no Obama anymore. There's no one cool anymore.
Well, I don't think the country wants anything crazy at the moment, so
Well, it doesn't have to be crazy. It just has to be lucid. That's part of our, you know,
that's
and
where
not
Biden
and not
fails.
Hillary fucking Clinton because no one likes Hillary Clinton.
I, I think we'll be fine with another 4 years of Biden.
Yeah, if he makes it.
He will.
I don't know. Isn't he polling? How's he polling now? I thought he was polling kind of poorly.
Again, out of the people who like care, actually very well. Like if you think about it, like he's done the best in a midterm of any president since like right after World War II. So,
Yeah.
like he's pretty popular. He's got really bad approval rating, but again, I guess he might have done really well because Trump is like super unpopular.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really hard to like figure out what's actually what the American people actually think. And when it comes to 2024, I think if it's Trump Biden will just crush him. If the Republican Party gets their act together and does somebody other than Trump, I think it'll be a bit more
Dangerous.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
But he might still win, especially because I think you can link DeSantis to a lot of Trumpism. So
yeah, but he's more on top of things. He's probably
yeah,
more on his talking game than anyone.
yeah.
Like he could probably. I've only heard him speak a few times, but he's a smart dude. Not smart, but he's like, you know, he's got the.
He's
like,
a good politician.
He's a yeah, exactly. He knows how to rally.
Yeah, which is scary. I just don't want Republicans doing anything.
Well, we live in a society of something or something.
But yeah, politics. Am I right?
Yeah. In other news, I don't got much going on, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get out of this funk. I've been like stuck inside too much. I finally got.
There was a historic snowstorm, so I think you're okay.
I know, but it makes me so like I'm so just done with everything right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty over it all. I finally got Destiny off of my YouTube.
Really?
I don't get him recommended to me anymore.
Damn.
pretty exciting. My YouTube is like nice now. It's fucking if I pull it up, here, let me just pull it up and refresh. See what the first thing that pops up is.
It's funny because I watched like 2 Destiny videos last night.
Asmongold,
Oh, okay.
Death Stranding, and T-Pain
Just
are the first 3 things that popped up. Pretty great. Pretty great. I'm loving YouTube these days.
you're turning into basic bitch semi gaming related YouTube.
Yeah,
At least you'll be happier.
I will. Honestly, yeah. With the whole Destiny thing at this point, it's like I'm just so burnt out of all of that stuff. I really want to start like a show where I just mock all of those people. Um, I get so tired when I watch fucking political stuff like that. Because it's just like Jerry Springer mixed with a little politics.
Yeah, honestly. Well, that's the stuff that really like relates to people. Like people like the drama. And I think that's like I don't know if Destiny really knows that. I think he has a really good personality for it though because he really gets like worked up fast.
Yeah, I mean, it works really, really well for people like that. Like, I understand why so many fucking like internet people are attracted to that community because
Mm-hmm.
it's like actual excitement, or it feels like they're actually excited about something,
Mm-hmm.
and it's usually just useless garbage. Uh, like
I think the discussions are good. It's better to talk about it than to not. I think Destiny is not the best at it, though, sometimes. But I also think he's really good at it in other ways. I don't know.
Well, he dyed his hair blue. I don't know if you saw that.
I watched some videos last night. I'm well aware.
Yeah. What was he saying?
There was the one against the red pill guy, black guy, red pill guy. He was horrible. He was really bad. What was the other one I watched? I forget exactly. But I just watch each. I just be consuming. I'm what you call a consumer.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, the rise of lonely single men and women's biggest. What's it called? Biggest complaints with dating apps. It was just some random video.
Oh.
I really don't like his relationship advice stuff. Really...
no. It's like I'm with you. He was doing a dating show with some therapist girl, what's her name? Not So Erudite, and it was like I don't know. It felt forced.
Yeah.
It felt like kind of cringe, and it's like I don't know. I don't need that garbage, so I don't consume it. But,
I feel like his advice on that stuff always just comes from personal experience. While he tries to not frame it like that, especially he's really good about talking about polyamory or whatever he calls his relationship.
right.
He's really good at understanding that that's not the norm for most people. But aside from that, when it comes to human on human interactions, he always just defaults to what he believes.
Right.
Or what he's experienced.
Which I guess is what that kind of stuff is, right? Like most of that ends up being sort of just your own personal stuff.
I feel like he's really bad though at
Well, he's weird. I don't know. He's got very specific. Well, he's in a poly relationship, which is just abnormal and strange.
Damn, you're just that's becoming more normal.
I know, but no, it's not. It's not really normal. It's not the way we're.
It's not how God intended.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well,
Chill.
that's true. it's kind of true. That's not how nature designed us in the first place.
Are you sure?
Well, there's
'Cause
some animals that are polyamorous, but there's a lot of animals that aren't, and monkeys.
there's a lot of animals that don't build societies and have heating in their abodes. So
Right, but we're still at the end of the day, we're still 8-brained mammals
yeah, that
at
are
our
really really
core.
smart.
Yeah, but we're still at our core. I don't know. Seeing all of Destiny's misadventures in the dating world, it seems like a very toxic and shitty way of holding a relationship together.
I think he's
Maybe not
just a
for everybody, but
toxic person.
I think it's very difficult for hormonally to not want to stick to one person. But that's the way I perceive the world.
It really depends. It really depends. I don't know. There's a lot on that topic, but I don't know.
I'm not big on dating crap anyway. It's like not my thing.
Yeah.
If me and Ellie broke up, I'd probably just be single forever.
How many years are you guys at now?
5.
Jeez.
Yeah. Long time. Going strong. She's fucking moving to New York for 6 months, so
Oh wow.
I'm gonna be living like a
Like
non-cell for 6 months.
Jeez.
Not an incel, a non-cell. Or an asexual.
I picked up on that.
Maybe.
Maybe we should have our definitions defined
I don't care about offending that small group of people.
Jesus
The
Christ.
asexual community.
But yeah. I will say to wrap up on Destiny, I've kind of come to the like I used to hang out. I've talked about my friend Kate a lot. She's really into Destiny. She's a real big fan. I used to just like mess with her and like say like Destiny's just a real like idiot and shit like that. But I can't deny he's for the most part based on most things. I think when he talks to leftists, he really like shows his weaknesses. I think yeah, on relationships, he's just really unable to see past his own perspective, and yeah. But for the most part, he's pretty good. I can't say I hate Destiny. I really can't. And I think what he does primarily, like deconverting like crazy like conservatives, I think that's like super valuable.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that he's doing these days though.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
He's
sort of
mostly
OG.
fighting with leftists.
That's when I really liked Destiny, was that sort of time period. Where he was like making Nick Fuentes fans feel stupid for liking Nick Fuentes and not going out to lunch with him and
Yeah, well, I know he's got like the whole Lauren Southern like controversy and like kind of like giving the right more like I don't know credit than they deserve.
yeah.
But I don't know. I still like that he can engage with these people.
Yeah, that's true. At least he can engage. A lot of people don't fucking do that anymore. A lot of Twitch Paul is just virtue signaling.
Yeah.
About like really like what was like the latest topic? Like trans genocide stuff. Like everyone's arguing, but they all agree. They just are arguing over the definition of genocide, and it's like I don't know. That's just like such a goofy argument. Like, sure, it's a genocide. Let's just call it that. Let's just give it to him.
Well, I mean, yeah. I don't really want to get into that, but
Well,
Yeah,
I'm sure there's good arguments, but it's like, what's the point of that argument? It's like everyone sort of agrees that there's this underlying cultural thing that's fucking with this group of people, and whether
yeah,
it's, forcing them to kill themselves or whatever. That's basically like that. If we're all agreeing on that, that's the important part. So we should move on to the next thing. And that's why Destiny talking to right wing people is interesting, because it's actual, like an actual disagreement on something.
yeah,
Like being anti-immigration versus pro-immigration isn't like a semantic argument about,
yeah.
you know, it's interesting.
That's a good point.
So that's sort of why I still would enjoy him if I ever saw his video on my YouTube channel.
So your problem is that it's mostly just like more like liberal infighting or leftist liberal
No,
infighting or
I mean, it
whatever.
would be exciting if they were fighting about something interesting.
You don't think the like trans discussion is interesting?
Um, Not that one.
Really?
Just not because it's not interesting, but because it's literally everyone sort of agrees on the same thing. It just turns into meta conversations about what is genocide rather than actually having like a fun discussion about something interesting. And the only thing that makes that exciting anymore is that they get angry at each other. That's it at this point for that discussion. I mean, if you have like a Republican on who's like, trans people don't exist, that's an interesting conversation,
Really?
because
What?
that's like, you can actually fucking get into the details of like, you have enough disagreement there that you can get into the details of why that's so interesting. Like
Hmm.
discussion, or the trans sports thing is like a legitimate conversation that you can have about, but at that point, that's another one where it's like, you sort of have to defer to data.
Hmm.
Um, so
Well,
it's less interesting, but it's still more interesting than the current
I, I,
thing.
I think it's really useful to still have these discussions. Like, I mean, then again, I'm like really, I'm like I like philosophy. I like having your definition set out so we can actually know what we're talking about and like actually like get get some progress on an issue. So I think it's important to have like to define what genocide is in that context, because if we're talking about um genocide and we're not talking about the same thing, then sure. Like, and honestly, I haven't really been too uh like active in that like Discord. I haven't really heard any of it.
Oh, I've heard a little bit. That was sort of the last big Twitch thing
Yeah.
I listened to, and I ended up just feeling like disappointed at the end of it all, because it's like, I guess you could fight about definitions, but it just seems like so boring.
Yeah. But I think that's a big problem with the right and the left right now, is that we don't have our definitions straight. So like um when like the left starts like kind of changing the definition for racism, and they're like, white people can't be racist, then it's like, okay, I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. You're saying that racism is like power plus privilege or whatever, or
Oh,
like yeah, and it's like, okay, yeah, so a black person can't exercise their bigotry in the same way a white person can. And if you want to say that's not racist, sure, that's fine. You're still a fucking piece of shit if you're bigoted and you're black. Like, that's just true. That is just true. If you don't want to call it racism, sure. Like, definitions can change and whatever, but you're still a piece of shit. So I think
yeah.
like
See,
if you
the
don't
end
have
goal
those
is like,
definitions,
you're a piece of shit. Either way you put it, You can give up the word, you're still what you are at the end of the day. It's,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
in a way, I guess if you're like if you really like that sort of thing, I understand why. But like at the end of the day, if you hate another race, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah,
We don't
exactly.
need a label for it. You're just like an asshole.
And if you want to like do some mental gymnastics to say it's not racist, even though the majority of people would just call you a racist, like then sure, like whatever. You just have that. Take
Right.
that.
Right.
You're not a racist, but you're still a piece of shit.
Right. And that's like that's how that's how, see, but they have to turn it into a 2 hour conversation about it.
Well, I
And
think
it's like
that
that's
just
we
goes
just
to
solved the
show.
problem. It's like the
I
same
think
thing. If you go to the transgenocide one, it's like the cultural and the government shit. What they're doing to trans people is fucked up, and
mm-hmm.
it's like you can't argue against that unless you're a Republican. Then you can like have an interesting like, no, you're not. You're like whatever. There's like if you have that sort of conversation, like that's interesting. But when it's like everyone in a group panel agrees that like what they're doing to trans people is fucked up. That's like the end of the line there.
Yeah, but then there's like people who try to like downplay it, um and I feel like this is a bad one for me to talk on, but I know Destiny is like more like he doesn't think that like trans women should be in women's sports and stuff like that, right? Like at least not just like a blanket like allowance of that. Like
Right.
there should be like I don't know his exact um
Well,
stance, but
I think I know it. He basically was like, if you want to be, you shouldn't be able to perform in. If you want to do it in high school, fine. If you want to do it in middle school, fine. If you're doing it in like a college or a professional level, you're taking
that
spots
spot
away
from someone
from
else.
a cis woman, which is like at the end of the day is factually true. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, say what you want. I watched this guy, more plates, more dates, and he's like basically like an open steroid guy, and
Mm.
he's not like he's taken steroids, and he's like tells you about the healthy way, and he exposes people for lying about it basically. But he's like
Mm.
covered the trans sports stuff, and it's like sure, like taking estrogen can reduce your ability to perform with males, but it's like your
Mm-hmm.
bones. If you were like if you weren't taking stuff for the first 25 years of your life, you're basically at such an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it like it's actually crazy. Two of my trans friends up here, uh, one of them is big Destiny fan, and the other one agrees with that take. Like, and they actually they do sports.
Oh,
Um, the other one, and they do agree that trans women shouldn't be a part of women's sports. And I've like as somebody first off who's not in sports or is not like trans, like I feel like I really just don't have any sort of like valuable input. But
yeah.
I guess I do default to my two trans friends who are like, yeah, that is kind of that does make sense and like that shouldn't uh happen. And I'm inclined to agree with them.
Right.
I don't really know, I guess.
Well, there's like uh I mean there if you're just willing to give up all world records to trans women for all women's sports, then that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Um,
I really wonder if we're like headed towards a society where like that like men and women's sports just don't matter at all. Like,
well, then
mm,
women's sports don't matter. at
well,
the end
well,
of the
yeah,
day, at the end of the day, they won't fucking perform ever if
yeah,
you take away their sort of thing. Which I'm not a sports guy. I kind of get. I like MMA. And they
Mm-hmm.
had a trans female MMA fighter, uh, and it was kind of disturbing to watch. But
Was she just way better?
just fucking well. So I think it was like 4 fights in total so far, and just like knocked. Was just a boxer, so basically just beat the shit out of like 3 women in a row.
Jeez.
And then the last one choked out the trans female because the trans female was like not actually that good at fighting. So it's like
She's just a boxer.
Yeah. I mean, like if you get it, so if you're like not good at a certain sport, you're probably still gonna get fucked up by a woman. Like I would never fight. I would never do jujitsu with a woman who's like trained because they'll just like wreck your shit.
Yeah.
And strangle you.
But when it comes to people who are like evenly trained,
right,
that like biological difference matters a lot.
Right. So like if you had Floyd Mayweather like take estrogen for 20 years and then go into or not 20 years, like a few years, he would still be wrecking shit in boxing.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Just destroy.
Yeah. It's a really hard discussion because it's like, what do you do then? Like, it's really unfair to trans women then. Like, it really is, and it sucks. And I wish it wasn't like that. I really wish it wasn't like that because they shouldn't have to give up what they love, because of that.
It is disappointing.
But it isn't fair to everyone else then. So it's like, I don't know. I wish there was a good way to
we'll see how like society is though, because it might, in 20 years when there's a fully started transitioning pre-puberty, they might be like easily on the same playing field as a cis woman,
Yeah.
But it's hard to say now because we don't really have a lot of subjects like that.
Yeah. And if the Republicans get their way, we won't.
Right.
But
well, that's like the silly Republican thing. Yeah. I don't know much about the child stuff, but I seem to be. It seems like the science is in that it's not severely damaging to most children to take hormones at a young age.
It simply promotes the fear response in Republicans when they hear it. It's simply like they're like, this is an unnatural thing, so I'm scared of it. And Republicans and conservatives are more fear inclined, so they're gonna go based on what scares them and what they don't understand, and so that's why they're against it. There's no real reason to be.
I wonder what like actually spurred it on. Is it just because like trans people? Do you think it was because like trans people are usually like a left wing thing, so the right just decided to go?
That's a big part of it,
against
but
it, or like what else could it be? Because at this
it's
point,
progress. It's just progress, and conservatives hate progress.
Right.
That's why they are conservatives. They want what they deem as normal, and conservatives in 150 years are gonna totally be pro-trans and pro-gay and all that because it will be what was normal for like the last like 50 years.
Right.
Like that's just how conservatives work.
I mean, they're becoming pro-gay now. Like a lot of
exactly
conservatives are pretty much like you should not step on their rights. At least the good conservatives. There's like
they had to realize a lot of rich white men were gay. So
yeah. Once we need more rich, wealthy, white trans people.
Yeah,
and that's how we secure the vote.
They'll figure it out. They always figure it out. But that's the thing. They're always like
25 years behind or more.
Yeah, and probably more, honestly. Um, because they always fight against the new scary thing, because again, conservatives are driven by fear. That is all they're driven by. It's
Mm.
not logic, it's fear. So, yeah.
And they're such manly men. You think, you know?
Because they're scared.
Oh man.
Think about it. Like, if you care about like your appearance as like a manly man, why? Why do you care about that? It's because you're afraid of conflict. You know, you're afraid of conflict in general. You want to present as being tougher than you are, to avoid conflict in the first place. That's truly where I believe that comes from. Where
Well,
they're
I
like,
understand.
oh,
That's like genetically. That's like part of us is to be the alpha.
part of men.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah. I mean, like,
beta.
if you have more, I mean, yeah, like you want to be strong enough to survive in a world, and now we're in sort of a world where you don't have to be strong, but a lot of
Yeah.
people are still developing that way because they can't think of any other way to survive.
Well, they're
Is either they're
sticking
not
to
smart enough,
traditional
or
roles.
right,
You know. Yeah.
right. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't care about being. I feel like I've not cared about traditional gender roles. You know.
yeah, me either. Not really.
You know, Emma's gonna make way more money than me, so.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can coast by in life with Ellie's money, whatever she ends up doing. But
Right? See,
we'll
we're the
see.
generation of guys who just got ambitious women who will drag us through the dirt.
We would love.
Yeah, yeah.
We're just gonna run this podcast and earn some extra, $10 a month to feed our kids once. Buy our kids
Here's the dollar
snacks.
menu of McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, I'm not really. I mean, I would like to make money and supply stuff for my family, but that's sort of more of a capitalism-minded thing. I'd like to
Yeah.
do things with my I'd like to consume, go on vacation, buy a car, buy a house, you know. So I would like to make money, but it's not like I'm not obsessive about it.
Well, I mean, there is like obviously a very useful thing to having more money. It's because you can do
Right.
more stuff. Since I feel like I've gotten my career kind of in a good spot so far, I think this year I'm really going to focus on trying to get money in a good spot because
Yeah.
I'm really bad with money, and
Oh yeah.
my career is really bad at being great with money, you know. um so yeah,
When you're learning
esports is
skills, you
fickle.
could probably, at some point upgrade
Oh yeah.
jobs.
Yeah, and I've already gotten other like coaching jobs and stuff like that, so I'm really just trying to like expand, and yeah, cuz I want to be financially stable. Yay. Okay.
But I built up some phlegm, so I thought I would take it off mic for a second. Uh, um, yeah. I don't know. Shit.
So animals, am I right?
What's there to talk about animals?
We really talked about pangolins last time.
And hippos.
Hippos.
There's no good animals these days.
I stopped releasing good ones.
Yeah. I like frogs a lot. I thought about getting a frog for a while.
I'm a huge fan of frogs too. Me and Emma play video games with this child who's obsessed with frogs. He literally got like a frog lamp for Christmas.
A literal child?
He's like 16 right now.
Oh, okay.
Just a second, Emma's.
There is armor, frog armor for the cat. It's a little frog hood,
Yeah.
and I can't make shivers. Have to freak out.
We're playing Monster Hunter with that kid right now, and Emma found like frog armor for his cat in Monster Hunter, and yeah, she can't wait to show him. But yeah, I really like animals. I just I wish politics could just be like, yo, who picked the best animal and which one will win in a fight. But
which animal would Destiny be?
What animal would Destiny be?
Probably a fucking rat. Got him. Got him. Probably a dwarf. What are they called? A dwarf pig. Aren't they called dwarf pigs?
I have no idea.
No, teacup pig. That's what fucking.
He'd be a teacup pig.
Yeah.
He's more scruffy. I think of more like a rat sounds good. I'm thinking like a long-haired hamster that got fucking wind blasted. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. What animal would Donald Trump be?
I mean,
a golden retriever. No, that's Joe Biden. Joe Biden is an old golden retriever.
Yeah. He's like a blind old golden retriever that walks into walls.
Trump is like a Jack Russell Terrier. That's what Trump is. Except an old Jack Russell Terrier that doesn't have the energy to yip and yap anymore.
But he still tries.
Yeah.
Still tries. Did you see that NFT thing with Trump?
Yeah. That
was so funny.
He made so much money. It's really depressing.
Did he?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he made like millions off of some stupid fucking the superhero one and the was it a U.S. Marine? It was a cowboy. The cowboy one. Oh my lord.
I just feel so bad for the Republican base.
Yeah.
Did you see Trump's people? Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, these Trump trading cards. But did you hear his little speech at the beginning? He's like, "It's me, your favorite president, better than Lincoln."
Yeah, better than Lincoln.
What I think he's really lost it. I know Biden isn't all there mentally, but Trump has gone insane. His mental health is fucked right now.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that Republican debate. I think that will be fantastic.
I was the best president, better than Lincoln. He's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I bet you he doesn't even know what FDR. I bet you.
Well, Lincoln's the Republicans' favorite president. Yeah. It's everybody's favorite president.
My favorite's FDR, but
my favorite's Andrew Jackson. Because all the good he did this country.
He was not horrible. He wasn't great though.
He was pretty horrible. Genocided.
Oh yeah, the Native Americans. What do you expect from an American president in the fucking
I like
top
Teddy,
half?
Teddy Roosevelt is underrated, I think, these days.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of conservative, but he was also If it
He
weren't
was a
for him, we
progressive
wouldn't have-
Republican.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he saved the wildlife of the United States sort
Yeah.
of single-handedly. Without him, we wouldn't have any trees left in this country.
I've kind of been obsessed with the presidents recently. I don't know why. But yeah, FDR is like by far the best, in my opinion.
Who else is pretty cool?
JFK was really good too.
He was okay.
He was actually, I think he was really good. I think he was like the second best president.
He
Maybe
was,
third.
I just watched The Irishman. That was pretty
Ooh.
cool. They talk about how they fucking got him elected and then assassinated him when they didn't do what he wanted. The mafia.
Really?
It was a little conspiracy theory, obviously, but I bet you a lot of that shit's true.
I mean, something like out of all like the American like lore, the JFK assassination is like easily the most like what the fuck actually happened? Like what actually happened?
I know, it's kind of...
Like 9/11, obviously there's like some creepy shit there, but like it's like probably it was just, Osama bin Laden was like, "Oh, planes."
That MLK too, that was a bad one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think there's a pretty strong consensus. It was the CIA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is kind of
Yeah.
crazy to think about that, like, the CIA was doing that shit.
It's just fucking nuts. The 60s were crazy.
Yeah. Oh my
But
God.
JFK was a really progressive president as well, so like I'm down for that. FDR, JFK, Lincoln obviously is a great president. Washington.
Ronald Reagan.
No.
Um,
I think there's a direct line from Ronald Reagan to Trump, honestly. I really do. I think Ronald Reagan was like the start of the end. Because he was the first, like, he's the first, like what we think of right now as like the evil Republicans.
Yeah.
Like he's the first one.
No,
And
that
then
was Richard Nixon.
Nixon was not as bad as Reagan. Even though Watergate and all that, Nixon was not as bad as
You don't
Reagan.
think so?
No,
mean,
I don't
he
think
was
so
a
at all.
schemer. I guess he was.
Yeah,
he was.
he was
sorta
bad.
Like, he was like that was like sort of in that era of like mob, like conspiracy shit where they would do stuff. And that was sort of the same sort of thing. It wasn't the mob that did that, but it was like, that behind backdoor thing. And yeah, Ronald Reagan is more of an outwardly bad guy.
I would say he's less of an outwardly bad guy compared to Nixon. Like Nixon was like really bad for the Watergate stuff and all that shit, but fucking Reagan like normalized like this really conservative Republican like stance, that like led to George H.W. Bush, who was like really kind of unqualified and really bad,
Yeah.
and then the Republican Party rebelled and went to Trump, and it's like, okay, yeah, like Ronald Reagan started that shit. He really did. I don't know.
And the Democrats have done like fucking no transformation in the last since Reagan.
Since FDR. No,
Yeah,
since
FDR.
FDR.
Well, no, FDR was I feel like he was like a fucking speed bump. Like even
What do you
before
mean?
FDR, there wasn't much change, and they didn't really change after FDR. Changed a
Ah.
little bit, but it wasn't like. I mean, FDR was like a real disruptor in the system.
I think FDR was the change, really, because Democrats before that wore like majority of the Southern Party of the
Yeah.
United States, and
I
after
guess
that,
so.
it kind of switched. They were the progressive, like black rights party,
But it's not like
I feel like he
they
was
sort
the
of gave
signal
up
of the
on
switch.
on the big goals of like there. Maybe there was another change at some point, but like they're still in a corporate America, and not really building infrastructure to help people. I don't know. That's sort
Well, that's just politicians in general. But FDR's New Deal, that was huge.
yeah.
Biden's infrastructure plan was actually really good too. So I don't know. I think I'm getting kind of uncucked a little bit. I'm kind of like, socialism is great and all that, but like the current Democrats are doing the best with what they can right now.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
Biden isn't ideal, but he's getting shit done. Like, it was surprising how much Biden got done in his first year.
Yeah.
Or first 2 years of office. Like, it's actually really impressive.
Yeah.
And yeah, the ideal is like this more like government involved like society. But for what we're working with, I think we're doing pretty good.
We're doing all right. There could be more. Especially when we're in this catastrophic era of COVID.
Trump. Oh.
Yeah, well, Trump was catastrophic, but things got really bad during COVID. Like, stuff is really bad now. And it's different, and there's no real response to any of it. Just kind of painful, but...
Yeah.
I don't know what they're supposed to do. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. Move to Canada.
No, it doesn't help you. We're on an international, like, evil. I mean, I feel like social media is literally going to, like, make things worse. As far, not social media in general, but, like, TikTok. Like, the new addiction to, like, short videos.
Like, our attention spans are just...
Yeah, like, they're fucked. They're actually fucked, yeah. Yeah, and like, Twitter, like getting outraged from someone who's 300 miles away and you don't know anything about besides the one opinion they've been able to write with their,
their limited character count, yeah.
Right.
Totally. That's a good point. Actually, fuck. You might have really just hit the nail on the head there, because, yeah, all of our media right now is being controlled to be as small as possible, so there's, like, less explanation for things, you know?
Yeah, and then you wonder
that's
why, like,
bad.
Fucking, like, crazy people are like, people are fucking following Kanye shit because he has to say something in 30 seconds for you to watch it. And, it's crazy, and people are either saying yes or no to that certain thing, but everyone's watching it, Same thing with Andrew Tate, same thing with fucking all those people.
That
and
is
left-wing
so...
people too. Jordan Peterson. Not that he's left-wing, but...
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like, yeah, Jordan Peterson clips. Ben Shapiro clips. Left-wing doesn't have anyone interesting right now, but that's going to change.
Destiny does shorts, so...
Yeah, his all are... Yeah. I mean, that's the one nice thing is he does long-form content, and...
Yeah. And I think that's really important. Like, you should have these dialogues. I think you really just kind of opened my eyes to that. Like, shortening the shit down is not good. It's not good at all.
No, it's really not.
You're encouraging people to come up with the best pitch for something in a small amount of time, which, like, limits the critical thinking you can put into something, especially if you're expected to have an opinion on something that you just heard about in, like, 30 seconds. Like, that's not good. That's really fucked.
Yeah. I mean...
Would it be funny if this was a clip?
It's too long now.
We'll edit it.
Yeah, we'll do some magic. Um, oh man, I had something there. Yeah, like I don't know if fucking having memes are worth it. I used to think it was worth it. Like, you know, being able to have 30-second meme videos and interesting, funny content that's short and shareable, but like
When you're trying to talk
there's
about
so
politics.
much. Yeah, I mean, I feel like people have just distorted it into what it's actually supposed to be, and it's not good.
Yeah. Jeez. That sucks. Damn, you really got me thinking now.
Yeah.
That might be something I write about. Like simplification.
It's something to do research on, I think.
Yeah. I feel like nobody's talked about that though. Like I feel people have talked about Twitter, but TikTok and like the short videos, like I feel like those are becoming very important too because candidates are using those.
Well, everyone is fucking watching them. Everyone I know. My mom watches fucking shorts, whatever. Not TikTok, but they're on Twitter.
YouTube?
They're on everything.
I watch YouTube shorts, yeah.
I watch Instagram shorts, but they're usually...
I'm so evolved. I don't watch TikTok, but I watch fucking YouTube shorts. Like it's the exact fucking thing.
It is the exact same thing, and I'm really pissed off that YouTube stooped to that level.
Yeah.
Because how many people fucking watch just YouTube videos?
A lot of people.
But luckily everything on Instagram is usually either a meme. Their algorithm is a lot better, in my opinion.
I've never been on Instagram, so
I would get it just for the memes. You don't even have to post anything or.
Emma says Reddit's for the memes.
Reddit, well, Instagram just is recycled Reddit memes mostly.
Yeah, that's what she said. She's like, if you found it on Twitter, but it started on Reddit.
Yeah.
Just memes.
But Reddit, I see fucking Reddit is. If you like that format, then go for it. It's probably the best. But Instagram makes it so easy,
Mm-hmm.
And they have a mix of like TikToks and all that crap.
All that shit. Well, cool. I feel like that was interesting. I feel like that's an interesting point. I feel like nobody's really talking about that.
Well, why is everyone's fucking doing them now?
And nobody's talking about the social repercussions of just a limited amount of video you can make. Like,
yeah,
that's very interesting. It's very interesting. I think it works well for entertainment, but for politics, it really doesn't.
Well, it doesn't work well when that's the way you promote yourself. Like, we have to make TikToks so that people watch it and then maybe click on the podcast,
Hopefully.
And, like, fucking 200 people see our fucking TikTok without us doing anything. Just uploading it, and it gets thrown in the algorithm.
It's because it's short. People are like, I'll give anything a chance if it's short.
Right.
But but there's also been a really big increase in people liking like long form podcasts and stuff. So like I feel like people don't want like 10-minute videos. They either want like 30-second videos or like hours.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, that's it, right? There's video essays, and then there's clips of video essays.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm really gonna be thinking about this for a while.
Anyway, not to black pill you. I'm slowly gonna black pill you. I got you to like Destiny because he's so cool, and now I don't like Destiny, and I like the death of society here.
You might. We'll see.
Well, it's just We'll get there. Once we get into the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, your mind will really get fucking
I'm already
unlocked.
pretty.
When
Yeah.
I read you all the people that are in the Black Book,
I'm kind of aware, like the Clintons, the fucking
Chris Tucker
Wait, really?
got you. He's fucking in it, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking Jimmy Buffett.
Of course.
I'm gonna have to go in and just. It's just wild, like the amount of fucking degradation we are living in. You know, fucking Jeffrey Epstein was into eugenics, and like he wanted to start a society, or he wanted his bloodline to carry through and become a large part of the. I don't know.
Well, he didn't have any kids, right? I mean, well,
Probably does, yeah. Probably somewhere. I don't think he raised any kids.
I can't believe I just said, did Jeffrey Epstein have any kids? All right, we're at we're at over an hour.
Oh, are you about to
Oh my god.
today?
I do have to go to work in an hour,
Oh
so
yeah. All right. Well, next time my cold is gonna be finally done. My voice is gonna be better. It's
yeah.
okay now, but I wish I could.
It's really not that bad.
No, but it's I have a like phlegm building up in the back of my throat, and it's really kind of fucking annoying to talk. But yeah. Next time I'll come with yeah. We're getting better every time. We're doing this thing. I gotta go start watching some podcasts for inspiration. I'm gonna start watching the Adam Friedland show again.
Who's he?
It's a interesting podcast. That controversial maybe. Just comedians, but it's funny.
Oh, okay. Well, you know the left doesn't love comedy anymore, so
Yeah, that's true. No one's funny on the left anymore.
nah. They're all cucked up.
Anything to go out on?
Happy New Year.
Happy 2023, baby. We're in it. We're doing it. And we're gonna have a podcast every week now.
Whoa!
Can you believe that? We can do it.
Yeah, I'm really gonna try.
And we're not gonna get sick. I'm not gonna be sick ever again. Lamar's gonna really try to not be sick.
No promises. But yeah.
Happy New Year. Bye. Thanks for coming. Bye.